So as we the tournament, remember it's the CFU Club Shield 2025 and it's Mocha FC against Weymouth Wales. Mocha FC from the Dominican Republic and of course Weymouth Wales from Barbados. Let's see how this team arrived here a short while ago. So there you see the Weymouth Wales outfit as they make their way into the dressing rooms. Of course, looking very relaxed, very confident. This is a big occasion for both of these teams, and I'm sure they will want to do it. Mocha FC, of course, giving it their all, and no doubt that they will be very keen to go home with the trophy. They've already achieved half of the mission, which is to qualify for the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup. Now it's see if they could lift the CFU trophy, and Mocha FC in the house, so to speak, as they get ready for battle in this
You're the
final.
head coach of Weymouth Wales, Asprith Howell. How's the team feeling today?
We're feeling good. The boys are well prepared, and we are going out for the championship now.
What would winning this competition mean to you and the team?
It will mean a lot. It will also say a signal that Barbados football is back.
And what are your thoughts on the competition overall and the organization and your experience?
Yeah, the quality was very high for us. We are really taken back by it, but nevertheless, we believe that we are right to be here. Have a right to be here.
And what's next for Weymouth Wales after this?
Well, we prepare now for the Caribbean Club tournament, because obviously, now this is gets for the championship. We are already qualified, and we are going out into that Caribbean Cup to also set another benchmark.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Okay.
Juan Gonzalez. So how is the team feeling today?
¿Cómo se siente el equipo hoy?
Bien, muy bien. La verdad que bueno, este tipo de partidos y de instancia te hace que todo el mundo esté motivado, que desde nuestro lado no haya mucho desde ese lugar de la motivación que hacer, porque viene intrínseca en cada uno, por la instancia que nos jugamos, por jugar una final, así que los ánimos también. Evidentemente venimos con un desgaste encima de cada partido, pero la motivación necesaria como para afrontar una final, ¿no?
We feel good, so good. Is normally in this kind of match, the motivation is normally in all players, so we feel so good. We have been carrying a lot of issues for the matches, but the motivation and the feeling of the team is so good, so prepared for this match.
How important would a win in this competition be to the club?
¿Qué tan importante es ganar esta competencia para nosotros?
Muchísima, porque es la primera vez de Moca FC como institución en una instancia como esta, en una final. Todavía no ha ganado una liga profesional, mucho menos una internacional. Así que va a ser algo muy importante no solamente para la institución, sino también para toda la ciudad y para el país, ¿no?
It's really important because in the history of the club is the first time that he are in a final, so we win the local league, and also in the international league for the history of the club is so important, and we want to make our best.
And what is your thought about the competition? How do you feel about it? Do you like it? What's been your experience?
¿Cuáles son nuestros pensamientos sobre la competencia? ¿Cómo nos sentimos? ¿Cuáles fueron nuestras experiencias?
Siempre para mí es gratificante venir a jugar la Shield o los torneos de CONCACAF en general. Siempre los sentimos como torneos muy importantes y la organización siempre está a la altura. Hay muy buena logística para todo, el hospedaje genial, la alimentación. Siempre eleva el nivel profesional de cada uno de los integrantes, así que siempre nos sentimos muy cómodos, la valoramos muchísimo y le tratamos de dar el valor que una competición de CONCACAF merece, ¿no?
For us, is a gratification also play this kind of tournament. So the organization have been in the level of this organization, the hotel, the alimentation, all issues are in the level that we expect and we want. So for us, is a pleasure to be here.
All right, thank you. Good luck. Thank you. Gracias. Gracias.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Will Howell before, and of course Jorge Alfonso with the interpreter. Of course, we get ready for the kickoff, and again, our coverage is with the kind compliments of the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association and the host broadcaster Flo. We want to thank them so much for being a part of our coverage here in TNT and at the Addo Bolden Stadium, at the Hazley Crawford Stadium, and at the Larry Gomes Stadium. And of course, the CFU Under 14 Challenge Series 2025, the girls series starting August 15th through the 24th. So we can look forward to that as well. So it's a lot going on, and we're happy that you could be a part of it. And of course, the two teams are loaded. We've seen them already in the tournament time and again. It's Mocha FC against Weymouth Wales. And what a clash this is. The Dominican Republic against Barbados. And we're just moments away from the kickoff. So any moment now, we should be seeing the teams taking the field for this encounter. It promises to be a keen one. And here is the Mocha FC starting lineup. Pascal Ramirez in goal, Kelvin Duran, Jose Francisco, Robertino Canavicio, an Argentine, Richard Dabas, Valentin Sabella, Juan de Jesus, Guillermo de Pina, Gustavo Ascona, also from Argentina, Ruhan Para, and Lihu Pichoda, another Argentine, in their ranks. So loaded with talent from top to bottom. Probably haven't scored the type of goals that I'm sure they would have been hoping for, but hey, there's no better time than the present to do that. Their opponents from Barbados, Weymouth Wales, they too have stunned everyone. Kishma Primus in goal, Ricardo Morris, Andre Applewhite, Hadan Holligan, Jaheim Neblet, Romario Harewood, Kema Headley, Shaquille Stewart, Rashad Smith, Mario Williams, and Nikolai Brathwaite. That's the starting 11 for the Barbados outfit. Holligan is their captain, and a very good one at that, but it's their forward line that is their biggest weapon, so to speak, especially with Shaquille Stewart and Kema Headley having good understanding between them. So again, both these teams have really earned the right to be here, and it's just a question of who can hold their nerves the best. Here comes the teams. So the players are out there in the middle there. You can see them as they get ready for battle, exchanging pleasantries. But no doubt, this is serious business for both of these teams. This is the championship match for the CFU Club Shield Final 2025. And the men in the middle, or the men and a woman in the middle, of course, would be Ken Pennyfeather out of Antigua, his countrymate Wasna Bamade, Mehensa Ranch of Suriname, and Shaquille Jukil, also of Suriname, is the fourth official. So Mehensa Ranch is the second referee's assistant, or number 2, and Wasna Bamade is referee's assistant number 1. There is the coach, who is Jorge Alfonso. We're hoping for a big prize tonight, and of course Asquith Howell, his opposite number, also keen on lifting the trophy. So we want to wish them both all the best, the players and even the officials. Hope that they're able to enjoy the proceedings here this evening. And remember, when it's all said and done, we will have a presentation on the lifting of the trophy, I suppose, with medals to go out well. So Mehensa Wrench is out there as well. And when was the last time you saw one of those? That's one of the top Adidas boots of all time. And although you don't see too many players using them, but officials use them a lot more now. And I suppose players like it because of the softness of the leather. Here we go to start proceedings, and it is Mocha FC in their yellow strip who gets us started, and they will no doubt try to control the place. Canavicio, one of the Argentines in the squad, getting it to another Argentine, and is Pachoda playing a great ball, but Primus is there. No problems here. And the 2 goalkeepers, Kishma Primus for Weymouth Wales and Pascual Ramirez. Here he is again, Primus coming under some pressure, but doing well. They have to be so careful. And this is one of the things, though, that Weymouth Wales have been sort of notorious for. They start slowly sometimes, and then it takes them a while to pick things up. It doesn't always look pretty for them when they start, but as they get into the game, they become very dangerous indeed. So that's the substitute bench. So they're looking on intently at what is happening out there, because when they get their opportunities, the coaches will be hoping that they can really fire for them. Dabas, the captain, gets it back now, just taking his time, and hoping that he and Pachoda can really prize open this Weymouth Wales defense by springing passes from deep at times. And it's not always the easiest thing to do, because the Barbados defense is a very aggressive and athletic defense. Here is Dabas once more. Gets it in, and Pachad does a good ball. You know, he has an opportunity to spread it wide. Can they get the cross in? And the pace is taken out of it. The sting is taken out of it, and nothing doing. Sabella creating a bit of a nuisance, and he almost got a boot in here. And really, that could have gone either way, because there was almost like a tug on the shirt to deny the attacker the chance of getting the ball, but the referee didn't see it, and play continues, and it happened in the area, so it would have been very, very close indeed. And so now they're probably trying to settle, and I think that's what is required here. Both teams just to settle down, pass the ball around, get everybody involved, let them get a feel for the ground, feel for the ball itself, what kind of weight to put on it to get it to move and to get it to do what you want it to do. And that's, again, careless because they just gave it away. Smith, but he too returns the favor. We saw that in the earlier game far too often sometimes. Here they go again. That's a great ball. Just have his man running away. The goalkeeper has to come. He fell down and almost conceded there. Primus slipped and fell, and it was just because the defender was very alert that he was able to at least get the ball away from Para, who was tearing in, going into the area there. A long ball out of the back, causing problems, and they almost conceded there. And look at the challenge coming right at the death there to deny him. Norris with the touch. And the coach obviously is a worried man. He doesn't like this slow start. He's seen it before. There's one coming in, but off the side netting. It's not what the doctor ordered. And they're going to have to tidy up at the back quickly because he didn't want them to go behind too frequently. They did that in the semi-final and it worked out for them. So just taking their time and making everything, breaking it down simply. Here is Pachoda. Gets it back. Dabas going forward a little bit. Pachoda now as they switch sides. Another ball trying to get it over the wing back position. Smith, though, was equal to the task on this occasion. Again, they trying to lull the attackers in, and trying to hit them on the counter attack. That has been the MO for the entire tournament. And just getting it out there, Canavicio. And because he was under some pressure there, immediate pressure put in by Headley. Now, can the Barbados outfit, Weymouth Wales, can they really put the ball down and try to take control? And right now, they're still not able to do all the things that they're hoping to do, and a little bit clumsily. But now, this is where things could be good because they're quick and they move the ball quickly, and they're not afraid to move it with first-time passes. Dabas gets it back inside there to Pachoda. Pachoda goes wide and he sees that he has his man peeling away there, going up. Sabella going right past the wing back, but it never got to him in that inside right position. They try again though, as they get numbers forward. And they're doing it right. Canavicio decides he's going to go all the way back and wait to see what Duran has in store. That's a great ball there to Sabella, but again, the defenders very alert and equal to everything that's coming their way. That ricochet almost worked out well there for FC Moca, but now they have to defend it. There's Headley, one of those few early touches, hasn't really seen much of the ball. In the meantime, though, Dabas and company are enjoying most of the possession. And again, too casual on the back foot or on the heel, really, rather than on his toes, waiting to accept the ball. And Smith, really with an errant pass there, not able to keep it in play. So here is Duran. He's been another one of the standout players of the tournament. That's a great ball. Push out again. Plays on this. A nice ball forward and can't. The first touch there. Sabella not working out for him. He really needed to be clinical with that touch and couldn't really haul it in. But they're still coming and losing out this time. And that's a two-footed challenge, and the referee quite correctly pulls him up for that. That's a dangerous tackle there by Duran. And I think the player saw the danger and got his foot out of harm's way. Trying to get involved, and that's again a little bit too close there for Ascona. Francisco. Again, looking to get Sabella going. Sabella looking around, and instead of playing it forward, decides to slow it down a little bit. Just about 9 minutes, 8.5 gone in this game, and taking their time now, not trying to force the issue too much. De Jesus. So go over on that far side there now to Francisco. Once more, they're trying to get it up there to Sabella, but the entry passes, they have to be a lot better. Right now they're still just hitting it and hoping that he gets onto it. But like I said, you have to kind of lead him into where you want him to go. Francisco trying to get there, but there is Duran doing very well. Dabas picks it up, San Francisco. And that's a good ball, but the offside flag is up. He was just trying to flick it on there, the big fella. And Ascona not able to stay onside. So no goals yet as we into minute number 10. And again, an errant pass coming out of the back. So that's the Weymouth Way bench. I'm sure all of Barbados must be extremely proud of these young men. There's another ball played forward there, Sabella. Trying to get at the end of that. He's brought down. The referee is right on top of it. And they have to be careful. The ball is a little bit slippery. And we've seen the goalkeeper slip and fell earlier. So he has to be very careful. And that's another ball trying to thread the needle there. But Smith read it well. And again, Primus. Sabella trying his best to get in there. That's an infringement. Really climbing on the back there, Francisco. But I suppose once he's committed to it, he's trying to go through his man as opposed to over him or around him. Smith for Weymouth Way. Gets it up to Headley. Headley doing well. Putting up a big screen, as we say in local parlance, a Vistarama. And really keeping his man at bay. That's a gorgeous ball, and you don't want to give this man too many opportunities. Shaquille, he's waiting there now. You really don't want him to be running free in and about in the area because he's so clinical when he gets the ball. Jaheim Neblet and company just trying to get their range right. They haven't really settled just yet, the Weymouth Wales. Ball thrown in again, played it in the part here. Here is the Captain Holligan. He gets it out wide. Smith with the cross. Nicely intercepted, Tabas. And again, it can't be that he was passing that to somebody. If he's going to make that turn, that's a wrong turn to make. And still going. And because if he made that turn, then he has to follow the ball, but he can't pass it. There's nobody there. And And more importantly, probably needs to hold the ball, hold it up, as opposed to trying to run with it. And a good opportunity there, just making sure that if he can't play it, the defender cannot play it either. So Juan de Jesus trying to keep things tight. Mario Williams with the throw. He's probably going to launch a long one. Everybody's backing off now as they see his range. And flicked in there, but it's handled quite effectively by the defense. Williams again. He's going to try another long one. And this one is allowed to bounce, and the loose ball is there, but the keeper is able to gather it quickly. Ramirez. De Jesus. Here's Dabas now, the captain, just taking his time, not trying to hurry too much. Duran. So inside their own half, not really threatening the opponent's goal just yet. Francisco plays a great ball, and Sabella again, but this is where he gets there, but then he loses the ball, or he, in this case, he gets pushed off to the side. He needs to control quickly, turn, and probably face his man wherever possible. De Pena gets it back, plays a bad ball, and now has to fight for it, fight to win it back, but he does well in the end. Just got a toe in there. Canavicio. Again, it's also kind of pedestrian right now, and they just need to, those passes, that final pass again is not what is required. They really need the Jesus there. Had plenty of time just to make a proper pass to get his teammate going, and it just either hit the wrong part of the foot or something, and it just goes awry. Primus. And again, getting up there, that's much better. Can they control the ball? And it's taken away nicely. In the end, their Brathwaite reading it well. So both coaches have a lot to be concerned about. Just that final third. Things not working according to plan just yet. But you could see that the Weymouth Way are not pressing them. Maybe they'll change it up. Right now they're backing off into their own half and just trying to accelerate. Here's another opportunity, but again, he cannot control the ball. Para. He was behind the defender on that occasion, but he can't get control of it. And again, that control is just not what it's supposed to be. He wasn't sure if he was making a pass or if he was just trying to control it for himself. But they play on, and they keep possession, enjoying most of the possession right now. But look at all the Weymouth Way players in their own half. Here again is Sabella, the control just not there, because he had a chance to turn, but because he couldn't control the ball, that opportunity goes. And look at how deep it is. The field, everybody other than the goalkeeper for Mocha FC are in the Weymouth Wales half. And an attempted flick, but this is where they could be exposed because of the speed at which Weymouth Way counter-attacks, because they have these two lightning fast forwards who are so deadly and can really finish off quickly. And that is better. Keep possession of the ball where possible. Francisco trying to track it down and prevent the forward pass, and they succeed in doing that eventually. But good patience now from Weymouth Wales. And just as I say that, it's really a hopeful ball played out at the back. And eventually it's just headed into touch. No way Smith could have gotten on to that one. Opportunity here now. That's another good ball. Sabella is in there and he goes down, but he couldn't get. I thought he got a touch on it, but he just couldn't put it past the goalkeeper. Primus was right on spot, plus he was under pressure. So again, Headley doing well, just a winner throw-in for the Weymouth Wales outfit out of Barbados, unbeaten in the tournament. And the same as Moca. Moca, they haven't scored too many goals. That's the one drawback for them. A 1-0 here. And a penalty win in the semi-finals after a goalless tie. So they haven't really set the place alight with their strikers. And that was the irony of the semi-final. They couldn't score a goal in regulation. They had a penalty. They missed that as well. But as soon as they started taking kicks, and that's when their key players were off the field because they had made their full complement of substitutions. So basically, a lot of their second stringers were out there, and would you believe it, all 5 kicks scored. And they ended up winning it by a 5-4 margin. Here is Headley getting it down to Smith now. Smith trying to play a ball in, but it's over the head of everyone. And but it's nicely handled once more. And once again, Para, under no pressure, loses out because of his control. And it's kind of like the angle. I don't know if it's the angle or what part, the surface that he's using to control the ball. And the ball seemed to just get away from him every time. And so, because he good opportunities, and they go to nothing because he couldn't keep control. And when I say control, I mean close control. Again, ball played in, but read nicely by the defense. Williams playing it across nicely, and here comes Weymouth Wales now. They try to switch sides. That's a good ball. Smith has it here down the right-hand side. Plays a lovely ball inside. Opportunity here, and a tough ball. Little too much pace on it, and not much that the skipper Holligan could do about that. And it might have been a deflection, so it's going to be a corner kick. Although the Mocha FC players are not convinced that there was a touch. But 20 minutes gone. We're in the 21st minute of play now. Still no goals. This is the final of the CFU Club Shield 2025. Mocha FC in the yellow, and there is the Weymouth Wales outfit from Barbados in green. That was their bench there. Looking a little bit anxious now, as they sense that something could give here. And once again, the header, but only the green shirts getting up there. Just slowly getting into the game. They haven't really taken charge just yet. They know that they can really do Herwood and company, can really get cracking quickly. Neblet and Co, they just extended their defense a little bit now, and pushing up to the half line. And, but it's going to take one ball to beat everybody, but it has to be a good ball, and it has to be an early ball as well. I don't think Weymouth Wales will mind this. Weymouth Wales will mind this too much if they go back to the goalkeeper, because all the forward routes, that's a good ball, but again the cross, and Primus very aware And under no pressure there, takes it quite competently. And you can see Sabella, who's a small man, not able to go. Good control here. And again, look at the ball played inside, and the return is just not there because Para was trying to get at the end of it. Sabella played it first time, but not the ideal pass. Good control again, and that's a good ball. Sabella though, but really waiting for the ball to come down, and it never does because the defense is again so athletic and so quick with their movement, and they're able to get to those loose balls much quicker. Sabella is a small man, and it's taking its toll. The Jesus again, and that's a goal. Really a brilliant cross this time, and put away with some aplomb. Gustavo Ascona in the 24th minute. So here it is again, as the ball almost come out of nothing, and a lovely ball played forward, but Ascona meeting it beautifully and finish it off with some assurance. So 1-0 there, and Ascona the hero. But maybe that is the goal that Weymouth Wales need to wake up to get cracking. So let's see now. They came from a goal down in the semi-final, so this is not unfamiliar territory to them. No need for them to panic.
Mocha FC in the 24th minute was scored by number 32, Gustavo Ascona.
There again they go, and Para trying to keep that one in. So all of a sudden they have found their rhythm. In fact, they've settled nicely now, and trying to really pick their opponents apart. 25 minutes gone, plenty of time for Weymouth Wales. They don't need to panic, or they don't need to change too much. If anything, they probably need to just try to be more accurate with their passes or their interpassing, and probably play a couple more forward balls. They're really square and back, especially coming out of midfield. Let's see what happens now. We're in the 26th minute, played short, and then it's played back again. Here's another one, and that could be another dangerous one in the middle there, and the ball is still hanging around. Shot, not a bad effort, but it's blocked, and still they're having problems getting it out, and only now are they able to just clear their lines. But again, they could turn from something out of nothing quickly because of that speed on defense that they have. But they have to be careful here now, because this is where the Mocha FC are hoping to hit them quickly before they can get back into position after they launch a counter-attack. Then they have to now recover from that counter-attack. If it doesn't work as well as they would like, then they're a little bit thin at the back, and you could just see Pechoda trying to free up Para and get him going. So 1-0, and I think the game needed the goal, so just to make life interesting here now. And this is better from Weymouth Wales. Maybe they just needed that goal to settle them down a little bit. What they cannot afford to do, though, is go further behind, as well as they do when they fall behind. They don't want to do that too often. You don't want to tempt fate, as they say. But you like to get an equalizing goal as quickly as possible. Thought about it, Mario Williams, then decided against it. And this is better. just to keep possession. Let the Mocha FC players chase as well. And all the way back it goes to Primus. And composed as ever. Just taking care of business in the middle of the park there, Brathwaite. Still the Jesus. It's a free kick. So there is the goal. That's the man there, Ascona, in the 32nd minute. So Primus beaten. It's a good ball again, but the control just not there. It's not there. There is Holligan. So now is the time. Here's Brathwaite. Gets it wide. Smith. His early ball again. And some problems there. The defender was just hanging back, waiting for the ball to come down to him. Luckily, the header infield was an errant one. Else that could have been problems for him. He didn't even pick up the man attacking from the back post, coming on the blind side. That's always dangerous. And you have to be so careful when you play in that wing back position. That's good football again. And a true ball, but the angle that Para took was not the correct angle. He cut it much too deep. But it just sagged a little bit, give himself a chance to see the ball. Once it was played, he was almost going towards the ball, but the ball was played slightly ahead of him. Primus and Coach Alfonso keen to get his team working. And this is more like his Holligan. Just keeping the ball moving and doing very, very well all the time. Hereward. And that's in the deflection, not there. Hit him straight in the solar plexus. And they can't get it out now. Right on the top of the box. This is where he scored, not in the first game, in the semi-final, from right on top of the box. Given time, that's a lovely ball at the back post, a little bit overhit. And they cannot get the handle on it there. Applewhite was coming in and hoping to get to it, but he couldn't. And here it is again. Peeling away there, Sabella played a nice early ball. And look at it, unmarked in the middle of the goal. Thank you very much. 1-0 in the 24th minute. And that's the man there, Gustavo Ascona. And we have an injured player down. In the meantime, the other players, of course, the assist man, Sabella, and the goal scorer, Ascona, taking advantage of the time that they might be worried, though. Their teammate is down, and there's that header again. There's the man who provided that telling cross. And they said, if you fail to succeed, try and try again. And he's been kind of almost like the nearly man. He nearly got the cross in, or he nearly got a touch on the ball in the area. But on that occasion, he was firmly in control. He got around it nicely, weighted it beautifully, just kind of chipped it over the head of the center back. And that left Ascona with precious little to do. So the American feeding the Argentine. So, play is about to continue. Looks like Duran is going to come back in almost immediately. Cannot afford to be without him for any extended period of time. He's such an integral part of everything that they do. And this time they've decided that they will go back. Now, this is how things have changed a little bit. the Weymouth Wales are starting to press the ball a little higher up the field now since they've dropped behind. Before, they would just drop back in their own half. Now you could see bodies in the Mocha FC's half of the field. And so just a little change in strategy there. The coach just extending his defense further upfield, trying to press the ball higher up the pitch as opposed to waiting to compress it in their own half. And now a chance to really keep firing, and easy call for the referee there. Para bundled off the ball. So 1-0. We're in the 33rd minute. This is the final, and we anticipate that before this game ends, we should probably get a couple goals more, because the field is a nice slick one. There's dew on it. We've seen a couple players slip already, and so it should be very interesting to see if they're able to. The referee is going to give a yellow card, because the players were asking that the opponent be 10 yards back, as is their right, but the referee was having none of it, and in fact he felt that they were already 10 yards back, so he didn't need to do any adjustments. So Sabella goes into the book, and so you don't want to be playing with that. It kind of changes your attitude sometimes. Now, where is the cross coming? And Petroda, and that's a lovely ball in, and problems at the back here, but again, good defensive header to get it out, because they weren't sure who did. There were 3 green shirts there, so the communication wasn't the best. However, all's well that ends well, and they got it out of harm's way. You could see the players warming up. I don't think anyone is coming into the game just yet, but they're just keeping warm. So Weymouth Wales having to defend this one now. Remember, they were already beaten by a cross ball. I don't think they would want to do that again. And Junior Francisco, there's a lot of pushing, extracurricular stuff, and the referee getting in the middle of it. And not quite sure. Well, there's the enforcer out there, and Kevin Duran. I think he got stepped on. That's the thing there with Smith. And I don't think it was deliberate. They were just, his back was turned, and when he turned, he turned and he stepped on Smith. Talk about wrong place, wrong time. But now the referee didn't really see it, so I don't know if he could punish anybody for it. And even if he does, it might be the wrong decision, because the player, his back was turned, and so he was just turning to look at the ball, and he ended up stepping on the defender who was right on him. Now here he is, unmarked in the middle. The defender is at the near post, as is the goalkeeper, straight down Main Street. Open net. And 1-0. So, after all the huffing and puffing, everything is A-OK. Now, the Weymouth Wales players cannot afford to lose their cool here. They just need to make sure that this one doesn't go in. That's a good ball in, and nicely controlled. And but again, that pass, it's really, we've seen this so many times now. Simple passes that really you just have to hit them, because you're trying to keep possession and keep the pressure at that end. And look at it, one ball out, and it's coming the other way. So now the big fella has come up, so he's going to have another long one. Try to launch this one as far as possible. Mario Williams. This time it doesn't get inside, and that's not a bad idea to get it back in the danger zone quickly, but it just was overstruck. And I think the coach, you could see a little concern. I don't think he's worried, but he's a little concerned that his players have.
Ladies and gentlemen, a yellow card has been issued to Mocha FC's number 10, Valentin Sabella, in the 35th minute.
So Sabella was the one who got that yellow card in the 35th minute. And it really was a silly yellow card. The referee blew the whistle to start play, and it just seemed that they were more intent on getting the 10 yards. So Juan de Jesus is down. And then you look at some of the spectators here watching this final. And these are some of the officials from the CFU. Osmond Downer from the Referees Association here in TNT. From the TTFA as well. So it should be interesting. All of the executives here for the final from the CFU and CONCACAF. And the ball just not coming down, at least not just yet. And does this one stay in? Another chase here for Para. He's trying to get there, but he cannot. Smith does well. So 39 minutes, we're into the 40th minute of play, and that's the first half of this game. Primus beaten once already. But he was beaten once in the semi-final, and they came back with 2 unanswered. And again, Duran, additional punishment there. And you could see Shaquille Stewart playing a little bit deeper tonight. And this is his running mate up front, Headley. It's an early ball in by Smith, but really not what is required. And you could just see the frustration starting to mount now, because it's not the first time Smith has misfired with one of his crosses. So the frustration mounting because the surface is just not there. There's another long wall out, and gobbled up nicely by the defense. And De Jesus again clattering into Smith. And he has really been through the wars. Remember, he was stepped on a short while ago. And here he is again now. And the referee trying to take control here. Pennyfeather. Ken Pennyfeather from Antigua has his hands full here because the game is just simmering. Just a little bit. Players just leaving their boot in, and guys are getting nicked every so often. So Norris deciding that he wants to go back, but they get it back to him now. He looks up and you see Smith peeling away, and then he decides safety first, and he gets it back to Primus, his goalkeeper. Primus. He is looking for some kind of opening, and not getting much. And eventually now, so Smith, he gets another opportunity to play a good ball in, and does very well. And but it's nicely read at the back once again by Duran. He's such a workhorse. Here, there, and everywhere. He can head the ball well. He has good feet, so he can pass the ball, but he's quick. And the number 2 at the back there, very versatile defender. And this man, this could be a real weapon for any team. Can he get this towards the middle? And it's still not there. And Smith his bicycle doesn't really hit the target. So it's not been an accomplished half for him. He's had opportunities to whip in crosses, but he's misfired. And we just saw that little bicycle kick of his go way off target. Now, can they do something with the ball? But it's given away again. And here they come, quickly getting the ball forward. Harewood slowing it down though, trying to get it back in the middle. Here is Holligan, the captain. And a nice dummy to leave it over on that far side there where they're hoping to get Applewhite going. And now the ball is played wide. Smith has it again here with once more. And again, the referee is taking a look there because once again, Brathwaite was just bundled off the ball. And he's just walking a little gingerly. So a throw in to Moca FC. They lead by 1-0. We're in the 44th minute of play. We haven't seen a signal from the referee just yet to indicate. And this was a foul throw. And so it's really at this level you don't want to be, because your team had possession and now you just give possession to the opponents and they're threatening with this long throw here. If they should score here now, he would be very, very upset. And this is a nice one in, but dealt with nicely, but only just. And Para again trying to get it out. Good hustle again from Holligan. And Smith really is having a real tough time. I'm not quite sure what is wrong with him, but he just seems a little bit off color at the moment. 2 minutes of added on time. So we're in the 45th minute of play now. And 2 minutes of added on time to come. De Jesus with the throw in. I don't think he could afford another fall through. They dodged a bullet the last time. So here he is now. Make sure. And he gets a chance to run with it. Can he get a cross in? Tries to go past his man. A little shimmy. Plays it back inside. An early ball. And just coming down for Primus to catch safely. Good control now. De Jesus again just dwelling on the ball, and the speed of the Weymouth Wales players really proving to be a big difference here. As they get a chance here to play the ball forward, and Para again, he should be able to get there, but he was offsides initially. And really, you could have seen when they lost the ball, he was in an offside position, but they had time to recover the ball, and he still stayed in an offside position. So when the pass was played, it was a moot case, all of his doing. So still the 1-0, the Mocha FC. And as I say, their defense kind of bends, but it doesn't break too often. As they quite often just do enough sometimes. But there is the whistle from the referee. Referee Pennyfeather says enough is enough. 2 minutes of added on time completed. So at the half in this CFU Club Shield final for 2025 here at the Ada Bolden Stadium, it's Mocha FC 1, Gustavo Ascona in the 24th minute against Weymouth Wales 0. And that's the latest at the half.
Not simply about how many games you win, but more about how many lives you touch. This is why we do it. Because football is life.
Because we know firsthand the power of football can positively change lives.
Because there's nothing else we'd rather do. Because our hearts beat football.
Because there's nothing quite like representing your country.
For the love of the game. Por el amor.
Pour l'amour. I'd leave the war.
For the love of the beautiful game.
Looking to put your brand front and center on the biggest screen in the house? That's where Flow comes in. With dozens of networks and thousands of shows, we can precisely pinpoint your customers based on interest and lifestyle all day, every day. From entertainment, sports, news, and foodies, we have them hooked. Contact one of our sales teams today. Flow, giving you a smarter and affordable way to advertise locally and regionally.
Protection that moves to your beat. Protect your home with Armor Security. With 24/7 monitoring, instant alerts, motion sensors, and rapid response, you and your loved ones stay protected day and night. Sign up for the Protector or Commander package today and get a free security camera and installation. Armor Security, powered by Flow, in partnership with All Pro Security. We keep your rhythm flowing. Visit us in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details.
folks at the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association, Flo, and our trusted carrier, and of course the CFU, as they have no doubt been part of the whole coverage, and their under 14 girls challenge series is upcoming from August 15th through the 24th. So Smith is out. That's the one change at the half. It's 1-0 in favor of the team in yellow, and they are hoping that they could really drive home their advantage as much as possible. And there is the substitute who has just come on to assume that left back position, Akeem Hill. Now they have a chance here. Now this could be interesting here. Can they settle quickly and really attack the Mocha FC's defense? They had good possession. They just haven't been able to deliver the telling crosses that they need, and that was good defensive work there again, getting back and helping out, making sure De Pena. So De Pena not taking any chances and heading it out for the corner. So a good bright start this. Here is Headley. And again, they climb, they get the header, but they can't control it. And it goes goes over the bar. And that is more like it. I'm sure they'll be looking at that and saying with Williams and company, they can really out-jump the Mocha FC defenders. So they just need to get those balls into those dangerous areas. Here is Para again causing problems. Can he get the ball to his teammates quickly? And there's another one, but they're just going to gobble that up. They have to figure out a better way to get the ball through. That's more like it. And just not connecting on that occasion. But that's more like it, because once they just play that floated ball in, and with those very sturdy and aggressive defenders back there, they're just going to gobble up those flighted balls in. And the advantage played quickly, and so now they really look like they're more purposeful. Here's Hill, the substitute, who's just come on, replacing Smith. That's a great ball in there, and just not able to get it off his feet there. And Shaquille Stewart really have to come to the party now for his team. They need him badly to really get involved and to try to put as much pressure as possible on the Mocha FC defense. Hill, who just came on at halftime for Smith. Smith, remember, was having a tough night. Had a couple of knocks, and then a couple of his passes, really with no pressure on him at all, were errant. So they're hoping that Hill could be a little more clinical and certainly more aggressive on defense. Not that Smith wasn't. That's a good ball, but when it's hit, it's going to run. And that's the problem when you just hit the ball down this side. It's going to, once you hit it that hard, it's going to run off the field, and it's going to create problems for the attackers. So they have to kind of weigh those passes a little bit better. Remember, this is the final of the CFU Club Shield 2025. And it's 1-0 in favor of Mocha FC, the team in yellow. The team in green, though, have really picked it up in the second half. And they have literally been living in the Mocha FC's half, unlike in the first half where they dropped off and allowed Mocha FC to enjoy most of the possession. But they've changed things up now, in the second half. So let's see if it's going to work for them. He decides against it, and this time he's going way over. And a little bit of miscommunication there. Now here's Sabella. He is still going, still keeping his balance. And but he runs into his man. And the referee's blowing the whistle for the original foul. And Applewhite not happy. Because he probably felt it happened so long ago. And the referee wants the ball stopped. And he wants a dead ball. Yep. And the thing about it, though, Mocha FC can ill afford to just try to run the clock. That could backfire spectacularly, because you don't want to leave your opponents with too much time. Now a lovely ball played across, and numbers there. Still nobody could get the shot. It takes a deflection and it goes wide. So again, just doing enough there to keep it out. And they really need buddies coming forward here, and that was Neblet getting a good crack there. Probably not as comfortably as he would have liked, because there were yellow shirts closing in on him. So he had to kind of grab at that shot quickly. But he took a deflection, and that's all that matters. But they still have a chance here with this corner kick. This is a much brighter start to the second half than it was in the first. And now, can they really get, and again, the players getting themselves into a little bit of a knot. And Ramirez is going to come and claim. So, yeah, this man is the man that they're looking for there, Shaquille Stewart. They need him to wake up and really come to the party. Hill decides that Primus is his best option, and Primus returns the favor. And Duran really made a meal of that one. He had plenty of time, did the smart thing, controlled the ball, and then he just decided to bang it upfield. So a little bit of an okey-jerky start, but it's much better, much brighter from Weymouth Wales as they hunt an equalizing goal here. And that's a great ball. Down the channel it goes, and screaming out there, trying to turn his man, does well. Can he get the hook back? He does, but it's well read. And here is the second ball over the net. It goes over the bar, it goes, and to the roof of the net, but from the wrong side. They wanted to go through the post or through the goal. Even if it hits the roof of the net after that, they don't care. But this one nestled on top of the net, so that doesn't count. So still 1-0-0. And really you could see now that the Mocha FC, they've not really been able to play the ball like they were doing in the first half. The Weymouth Wales are really be able to get the balls in the channels and get it past the first line of defense, and they're bypassing 3 and 4 players with one ball. So their defense has to be very, very sturdy now, and which is asking a lot because of the slick conditions here and the speed of the Weymouth Wales players. Here they come again. Here is Applewhite getting the ball forward. Can Parra get there first? He does. And then he loses out. So this has been the kind of like the story of his night. He just hasn't been able to really do something to help his team, just to relieve pressure sometimes. And just hold the ball, screen the ball. If you're going to get hit, you're going to get hit. But screen it. when you get it. Don't just show it to them halfway and then lose out in the final analysis. Here he is again with possession. And that's better. Hold on to the ball. And that could be a yellow card. And it is a yellow card. They're just clumsily taking his man out there, using his hands more than anything else. And really, he just put his hands up there, Mario Williams, and wiped him off.
Ladies and gentlemen, a yellow card has been issued to Weymouth Wales number 19, Mario Williams, in the 55th minute.
So he goes into the referee's board books here with that yellow card. Opportunity now for Weymouth Wales to set up on defense. And this is where things have gone awry for them. They can't. This was working for them in the first half, but because of the press from the Weymouth Wales outfit, Moca FC just seemed incapable of stringing passes together. It's 1 and 2, and then they lose it. And it just continues with them, and that's because that first touch has to be so clinical. Any bubble at all, the speed of the Weymouth Wales players, they're right there to capitalize. Here they go again. That's a throw-in. Doesn't even get to a yellow shirt. And again, that's the speed of the men. Here is Applewhite going. That's a lovely ball. Goes past everybody. The hook back. Chance over the bar. Well. He seemed to have it, Holligan, and then he didn't. He snatched at it. Probably tried to hit it too hard. Got under it and skied it. See, look at it again. A lovely ball. And there goes Applewhite. Played it right across the face of the goal. Henry, and just goes rather. Stewart missed it first time. And then the backup play, the hook back, blasted over the bar by Holligan. And the goal scorer has been withdrawn. And it looks like they're going to pack the defense even more.
Ladies and gentlemen, substitution for Mocha FC in the 56th minute. Entering the game is number 5, Keudy Jimenez. Leaving the game, number 32, Gustavo Ascona.
So they've sacrificed an attacker for a defender. And trying, and again, this is, it's a little bit unusual because they just can't seem to get 2 and 3 passes together. And yet they lead, and that's the important thing. But they just haven't been able in this entire second half so far. They really have struggled to get any sort of combination play going. And as a matter of fact, the defense has been under constant pressure in the second half so far. And under more pressure again. He has a shot wide of the mark, and that is more like it. This is what the Weymouth Way they are noted for. You can see the bench applauding them because they know that they have the capabilities and they have the firepower to get goals. They scored 8 in one game. They beat Police 3-1. So they know a thing or two about scoring goals. Question is, opportunity here again. Another ball, but they have to be so careful now with their passes. If they're going to keep possession, then they need players to come forward. They can't all stand around the ball with no forward movement because the men with the ball need options. And we see Para getting a yellow card. So 30 minutes left, or just about 30 minutes and 28 seconds or so. The referee put in Para's name in his book. So yet another yellow card. So Hill trying to get things started. Here's Norris. Lovely ball played in, and but again it's just coming up field quickly without any real opportunity to set things alight. Just like that, it's given right back to it. So it's almost like backs and forwards right now. They pick it up and they come driving forward, and it's up to the men in yellow to play defense and to hold on to the ball as long as they possibly can. Lovely ball. The through ball is played, but again, both of them are offsides, and you cannot delay. The ball has to be a first-time ball. And that's the opportunities that they have to rely on to try to take advantage of those quick hits, as we say, and try to get in there. Lovely ball played forward. Again, he's in an offside position. But this time the ball is way too straight for him. Primus starts the attack going the other way. Weymouth Wales. Remember, they scored 2 goals, led 2-1 at the half in the semi-final, and then defended for dear life. Can Mocha FC do to them what they did in their semi-final encounter? Only time will tell, as they took care of Club Franciscain with a 2-1 scoreline. Can they come from behind again tonight in the final and do a similar thing to Mocha FC? Right now, Mocha FC are the ones in the ascendancy with that 1 goal scored in the 24th minute by Gustavo Ascona. He has been substituted. And here is another missile being launched into the area and pushed out. And those are not the shots, but that might actually turn out to be a good pass. And captain's only just, but the pressure remains up at this end. So you could see the players, Brathwaite, trying to calm his teammates down and just tell them, don't worry, we have time. And we just need to be a little more clinical and make better choices, use the options. But here is Williams again with another missile into the area. And cleared away once more. But they have to be so careful because the marking at the back post is almost non-existent. There are about 2 or 3 green shirts there, so anytime that ball comes through, it could very well end up, and here's a little stab at goal. And this could be the frustrating thing for the Barbados outfit, is that these little half chances, the scraps that they should take advantage of, they're just kicking and not even forcing a save from the goalkeeper, and they can add up. And then they just lead to frustration. Still fighting for dear life. And it's going to be another free kick to Weymouth Wales. So they're getting opportunities. They're seeing a lot more of the ball, as we said, but they just haven't been able to kind of finish off all of this possession. We saw Mocha FC enjoy early possession, and then they got a goal. Can they get a second, or can Weymouth Wales now do a similar thing? The Weymouth Wales outfit, they need something here played inside by Norris, but cleared away. And a chance for them now to bring this one forward. That's a great ball. Can he return the favor? He doesn't have to look, just hit the ball. But he decided to hold it up. And there's another beautiful ball played over. Can he get a shot off? Eventually played a ball in the air. This could be interesting. And really put the ball on the ground, because once these defenders are so athletic that anything that you give them a chance. Now, we just put the ball on the ground. Didn't need to scoop that up in the air, because watch out how much work he's giving Morales to do there, or Sabella rather, to do. And he put him at a disadvantage, whereas you want to put your teammate in the best possible position to succeed. So now this man has been having some problems. Pachoda, the Argentine. Because you saw it in the semi-final, he looked like he was carrying a bit of a hammy. But he soldiered through until he was eventually substituted. And is this going to be another one of those where he just grinds it out, and try and help his team until he can't go anymore? So where is the support? There it is. And now it's the other option. So they're still down to 10 men because Pachoda is off the field. The referee hasn't waved them back on yet. Play has gone on for an inordinately long period of time, and he still hasn't waved them on as yet. And which is unusual, because sometimes after the ball is played, the referee would wave on the player. But you could see how they are not happy that it's taken this long to get him back on the field. And in the meantime, they play on, and still only now is he waved back on, and there's a wasted opportunity. And you could see the players are not happy. And there's another yellow card. So that's a yellow card to Duran. And he has to be careful because he is such an integral part of their setup, and they're going to need him. And they're going to need him to be concentrated as well. Now they have to be careful here with their marking. And the referee cannot afford to just get caught up in the shenanigans. You know, everybody is going to be complaining about something in there, and he just has to keep his focus, keep his concentration. And again, we see, and the one thing is that you don't want a player to just go down in the air and the referee blows for a penalty or something of the sort. They get a corner kick here again. So from one end to the next, and things becoming very tense now as time starts to tick away. And I think that is what Weymouth Wales are most concerned about. Time off the clock. He has to flick on, but dealt with nicely in the end. And here's another infringement, and this is where they just have to be cool if you can't get the ball, because let's face it, on both teams, from the moment you touch a player now, they're going down. That seemed to be the script here. And so you have to, as a defender or even as an attacker, you just have to be careful. And that was just a push in the back here, and that's going to be called every time. And with no apologies from the referee, Depenia, he has to be a little better concentrated. You cannot just continue to give them opportunities and expect that they're not going to put away one, or something is going to happen with one of these. Now this is in a beautiful position here. The delivery has to be spot on, and they just need to attack the ball. But I don't need to tell them that. They're good at that. So it's just a question now, can the defenders attack the ball? And they have to also play for the second ball. So here we go now, 69. We're in the 70th minute of play. Ball played in and punched away nicely by the goalkeeper. And another one played down, but they still can't get it out of harm's way. And then eventually, it's very easy for Ramirez to come and claim it. So again, as time ticks away here, you could just see the anxiety on the backs, on the faces rather, of the bench for the Weymouth Wales. They've done so well to get this far, and in the final, at the final hurdle, they just haven't been able to put it together the way they did in their earlier games. So here we go now. 20 minutes left. And again, they're playing it short. Trying to run some clock. That's a terrible ball. And really just set his teammate up there. And already you could see Pachoda hobbling around. And that one just kind of wiped him out. And he was going to go down no matter what. And so you could just kind of read the script in this one. As you look at it again, and there goes, going right through him there was Brathwaite, Nikolai Brathwaite, or Brathwaite. And I'm not sure if he was issued a yellow card. The referee looked like he was dipping in his pocket, but I'm not sure if he did issue the card. And we still have players remonstrating, and it's all the extracurricular stuff, and all it needs is cooler heads here now. The players are just, the two captains, they need to call the two captains and just have them sort this out, because the referee, if he tries to sort it out, he'll probably give everybody a yellow card. Every time they go down or every time they speak to him, he might just issue a yellow card. So he probably needs to speak to one person. So now it looks like it's looked as if Brathwaite has been given the yellow. So yet another player has gone down, and you can see Pregoda, he was carrying this since the semi-final. But he's gutsing it out. Now, the last time he was off the field, it took an inordinately long time for him to get back on. And they didn't like that one bit. So now let's see how long the referee is going to take before he waves him back on. Normally, as soon as the ball is played, the referee will wave the injured player back on once he's fit and ready to go. And it looks like we're going to have that substitution after all. Eduardo Puga, is he going to come on for Pachoda? Now, Pachoda cannot come back on the field. He's going to have to come the long way around. He has a shot at the near post, and the goalkeeper just looked like he wanted to play it. Luckily, he didn't put his hands there, because it had some pace on it. And Para hitting it hard as they try to build it from the back now. Here is Primus Hill, the substitute. And so it's a interesting turn of events here. This is what the Weymouth Wales outfit did in their semi-final to Club Franciscain. Now the same thing is being done to them, where they're packing the defense. They already took off the striker, the goal scorer, and now can he go to goal? He could go on his own. He could go straight to goal. Doesn't even need to pass it. This should be a goal. It is brilliantly done, and that is the second goal in the 75th minute of play, and it's the skipper Dabas Richard Dabas in the 75th minute. Really the one period where they just held their nerve and made the pass, and made a proper pass, I should say. And that is that. So Richard Dabas gives his team a 2-0 cushion, making life a little bit more difficult for Weymouth Wales. Watch at it. Para hooked it back nicely. Nobody picked him up, and he just rolled it over the line. Beautiful goal indeed, and he is happy with good reason. And there is Para, who provided the assist. And so now things becoming a little more difficult for Weymouth Wales. They have to now dig deep, really deep. But they also have to take a page out of Moca's book and not just kick the ball forward, but try to build play and try to make passes, proper passes.
Ladies and gentlemen, that goal for Mocha FC in the 72nd minute was scored by the captain, number 8, Richard Dabas. The score is Mocha FC 2, Weymouth Wales FC 0.
And again, Sabella not able to make contact with the ball, but here it is now. How do they break down this defense? Now you could see all of Mocha FC players in their own half, so it's really crowded in there, and they're as I say, they're attacking you like Jep. As they touch the ball, they are right there on you, so the field is compressed, so there is precious little room to move. In fact, in the Carnage area on that popular Hague Street ground in West Trinidad, there is a game that's called Iran and Iraq, and essentially what happens is that any number can play. So you might start with 11 or 12 on each side, and as players come, they don't wait for players to get off. Everybody just join in, and by the time you get to like an hour, you have 20, 30 guys on the field, and here they go again, Hill with an errant pass, and you can just see the energy being sapped out of the Weymouth Wales players, and that's why they call that game Iraq-Iran, because it's literally a war. You have no time to dwell on the ball, and all you can do is just try to, one touch or two touches at most. And it helps you in that regard, because it means you have to learn to control the ball, one, and pass the ball, two, because you have no room to do anything else. Lovely ball switching sides, and again the control not the best, but they win it back. So it's been that type of a day. Applewhite and company just not able. Hill, the substitute, gets it out there, and again he bubbles it, not for the first time. And here is a free kick now going in there, and just wiping his man away was Pichoda, and Applewhite is feeling it. So like I said, as soon as you touch the players, they are going down. It's just one of those situations here right now. Players are not prepared to get up. The slightest tackle or contact they get, they are hitting the deck. And it's all about time here now, trying to run time off the clock and the Pena. And they may have some substitutions there. Pichoda is going to finally come on. So we see it again. Here's Pichoda, number 89. He's making his way off the field. And we saw the Pena go off. And also coming on there is the number 7 Puga. And number 21 also gets a chance.
Ladies and gentlemen, there have been 3 substitutions for Mocha FC. Entering the
Duran,
game, number
Oliver
7,
Duran this time.
Puga, leaving the game, number 9.
Yes, that's ball in, and it just flushes wide. Well. That was a golden opportunity, and that's that man. That's how deadly he is, Shaquille Stewart. And would you believe he missed an open goal there because the goalkeeper was nowhere in sight. And you look at it again. Look at where the keeper goes for this ball. Never had a chance of getting it, and the ball screwed wide. So, opportunity that goes a begging there. They really need him to finish those, and that would have been ideal to cut the deficit in half. Here's another beautiful ball, but a little overweight, and it's been that kind of, that's the story, so to speak. It's been good parts and then bad parts, and they haven't really been able to do all the things that they wanted to do. So Ventura is also on, and there they come again with that big diagonal ball, trying to get there, and nobody could get to it. So it's ironic that this was the strategy employed by this man in the semi-final against Club Franciscain, where they scored their 2 goals and then they basically tightened up on defense and basically backed off and allowed them to come, and they defended for their life after that. Here we're seeing the same thing, and they having difficulty doing it. This could be interesting here, and he goes around his man. Can he finish it off? Yes, he can. And that, as they say, is that the man who has just come on the field has taken this opportunity with some aplomb in the 86th minute of play. Sergio Ventura makes it 3-0 now. So in the 82nd minute of play, he rounded Primus, and then from a fairly tight angle, made no mistake. So the substitution worked like a charm, as they say, and Sergio Ventura with a brilliant pass coming out of the back there by De Jesus. He attacked the defense, and of course when you're pushing up, you're going to leave spaces at the back, and that was exploited beautifully there by Mocha FC. So they have a firm grip on this CFU Club Shield right now, the hardware. Can they finish the job here now? They're just moments away. And here is a player goes down again. How is the referee going to sort this one out? And but again, you could just see a player saying, and like I said, Francisco.
That goal for Mocha FC in the 82nd minute was scored by number 19, Sergio Ventura. The score is Mocha FC 3, Weymouth Wales FC 0.
And so again, the Barbados players also need to be very wary of the acting, or the play acting. Here would lucky he didn't get a card, because just the reaction. You only have to breathe on a player now, and they go down, and then it creates problems. That's a bad ball, but he may get a second bite at the cherry though, and still he goes, and it's going to be a free kick. So the referee has to be on the top of his game right now. And Para is going to come off. and he's going to be replaced by a regular substitute, Juan Angeles. Of course, the aim here is to try to run the clock as much as possible. We're in the 85th minute of play here now, and the referee and his assistants, they have to be spot on here. And even if the referee's back is turned, the referee's assistant has to be his eyes when his back is turned, because a lot is happening out there right now. Not all of it is football. 85 minutes. So just 5 minutes left in this one. An opportunity now for Barbados. Can they, the Weymouth Wales, can they pull one back? They're down by 3 goals to nothing. A chance. Low and hard. Scores! Brilliant goal. Hit it low, hit it hard. And that is a beautiful strike there. And Barbados needed that. And that at least gives them some kind of breathing space. And Applewhite, who has had a good game, is the man who scores it for them in the 86th minute. Do they have Andre Applewhite, the goal scorer? Do they have enough?
Ladies and gentlemen, that goal for Weymouth Wales FC in the 86th minute was scored by number 3, Andre Applewhite.
So again, here is another unnecessary card, but like I said, it's what is happening in Francisco, and the amount of yellow cards that have been issued here, you get the impression if we play another 5 minutes, we might very well have a red card, because somebody who's on a yellow might make a mistake and commit a second offense. Here is the ball played short. They need to score quickly, and played it at the back post. That's a great ball, and it's another goal. Well, talk about defense falling asleep, and they certainly punished them there on that occasion, and that is Nikolai Brathwaite with the header in the 87th minute. You look at it, look at the marking. They just allow him to drift away. And look at him, he's unmarked at the back post. In fact, there were only 3 green shirts going towards the ball there. And everybody, look at the yellow shirts, all of them standing there. And as they say, pointing, but none of them defending. And that was taken advantage of. Here they come again, another opportunity now to get some bodies forward. And can they get the ball forward? This could be interesting. Can he play it? That's good. He's on his way. Can he get to the ball first? Turns his man down, and then he's pulled down. And that was what you call a foul, but he's going to get a yellow card. And I think he acknowledged that, Norris. Lucky that he wasn't adjudged to be the last man, because that could have been a straight red. So another opportunity at 88 minutes gone. We're in the 89th minute of play. We probably will have about 5 minutes of added on time, I would hope, or I would think. 3 at least, 5 possibly, because we've had an inordinate number of stoppages. So all of a sudden, this game has come to life here. There was 1-0 at the half, a 24th minute item by Ascona. 2-0 in the 75th minute by Dabas. 3-0 in the 82nd minute to Sergio Ventura. But since that time, in the 86th minute, Applewhite and then Brathwaite to make it 3-2. Here's a chance here now. That's a great shot, parried away. And here they come quickly now to play this one forward, and trying to get the handle on it, and they're forced backwards. So now, do they have the legs to finish off this comeback? Lovely ball played inside. They go for the return ball, and the defenders doing the smart thing here. No need to dwell on the ball. You just want to get it out of the danger zone. And here is the throw-in. It's another long one from Mario Williams. He's been launching them all evening long. Let's see if he could get another one in the 90th minute. Is there another sting in the tail? Headed back to him. Can he get the cross in? He does. But it's again dealt with beautifully at that near post, or even in front of 6 minutes of added on time. So they still have time here. We're in the 90th minute of play. So 6 minutes of added on time. There is the free kick. Brilliantly saved there. It was Durant trying his best to get the curler on, and but Primus read it well, dealt with it well also. So another player goes down and stays down. 90 minutes gone. 3 goals to 2. And what a final. This has just come alive here in the second half. So now, is the defense going to push up, or they're just going to sag and wait? Here's a chance here now to go and shot again. Just the pressure being applied. And you need to do a little bit better with that there, of course. Haywood, I'm sure he would like to get that back. He's been a real workhorse for the Weymouth Wales outfit. He's been really sacrificing his body, but he's also been a real playmaker for them. Scored a couple goals along the way as well. So again, we have a red card, and I was making the point, at some point somebody who's already on a yellow card is probably going to get a second yellow, and there goes that man who just scored a goal, Nikolai Brathwaite, and he is red carded in added on time. So it was just because too many yellow cards were issued early on, and so you felt that it had so much time in the game that the way how tempers were frail, that at some point in time somebody was going to get a second yellow. We have a player staying down, but of course everything now is at warp speed. They need to just pick up the man. There's a man. Here's Hill, the substitute, plays a lovely ball over on that far side. Remember, they're down to 10 men now, and they just have to be a little more purposeful with what they're doing and try to get it done. Williams plays the ball across and allowed to bounce. He didn't get the touch on it that he wanted, Holligan, and the ball just bounced aimlessly out for a goal kick. So we're in added on time now, and the clock ticking away on the Weymouth Wales. Can they lift themselves to one more strike? This is a great ball. Now, who has the speed? 2 players there. The goalkeeper comes, and luckily for him, there is an infringement, but really Hill was struggling there for pace, and he was almost beaten for pace. Here we go again now. Williams plays this one. That's a great ball, and Holligan lays it off, gets it back there in the middle of the park to Haywood. Haywood plays a ball through, but it's headed away, and player goes down. The referee says play on. It's not the best ball, and can he play the ball forward now? Yeah, that's a good ball. The return, can he play the return ball? Too much time. It's well defended by Hill, and the return ball, that's a great ball. Here goes Applewhite, but he can't get there. Still going, plays the ball across, and it's defended beautifully. Really, that was a great chance there for Shaquille Stewart, but it just hit the defender just as he made contact, and it went wide. But it's a corner everybody now is in, including the goalkeeper. They are up in the half. Early ball in, the goalkeeper comes, he punches it away, and it's still in play. And now he doesn't have a goalkeeper behind him, and it's played out, but that's going to be a free kick to Weymouth Wales as the clock ticking away. And we have the coach, or one of the assistant coaches, getting a yellow card because they're way out of their box right now and really just remonstrating with the referee. And referee Penny Feather really has his hands full in this game. And it's an interesting game. It's an exciting game in the last 15-20 minutes. But again, a lot of it is really just the bravado, the machismo. Guys just throwing their bodies everywhere. Here's a chance, and blocked again. So another corner. Well, you cannot fault any of the players out there for effort. They're giving 100%. And look at this block here from the dive-in effort there once again from the Jesus. Is the corner going to be swung in? There's nobody at the back post. He's standing there all alone, unmarked. Can they get it to him? The ball is played at the back post. The goalkeeper was backpedaling and cleared it away. And there is the final whistle. There is the final whistle. Moca FC from the Dominican Republic are the 2025 CFU Club Shield champions after a pulsating final with Weymouth Wales of Barbados. 3-2 was the final, and just look at what it means to these players. The coach is being swamped. He cannot believe it. What an effort. They went 3-0 up. They let in 2 quick goals. In fact, in 2 minutes, they conceded 2. And then they had to hang on for dear life to make it happen. What a game we had here in the end. 3-2 is the final. Remember, we have a medal ceremony coming up in a short. And there you can see heartache there for Holigan, the captain, the Barbados captain, the Weymouth Wales captain. So too is Headley. They tried, it just wasn't for them. This man here would also, and consolation from the victors, which is good to see. But as a player, you don't even want anybody to touch you at this time. You're so hurt. You're hurting because you had it in front of you. They took so long to get started. And when they did, they looked like the Weymouth Wales that we saw earlier in the tournament. And they were really creating chances. They were moving the ball. And they looked like a far different team. So 3-2 it has ended. And you could barely console Hassan Holigan, the captain for the Weymouth Wales outfit. I suppose the main consolation for them is that they've already secured a place in the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup tournament, which is like the next level after this one. So that is the consolation for them, but they knew that a couple of days ago. This was what they wanted. They wanted to add this to the proceedings and to cap off their stay here in Trinidad and Tobago. But it has ended in a 3-2 defeat. And you could just see the joy on the faces of the Mocha FC outfit and the heartache on the faces and the body language of the Weymouth Wales players out of Barbados. But they would know that they let in 3 goals. There were 3 good goals, I might add. But they certainly, now here is the first one. And again, bad marking. And left him, Acuna, as free as a bird there. Such a drive that was deflected out as they tried desperately to get back on level terms. They kept probing. And this was another close shave here, but Ramirez responded quickly. And still, they can't say they didn't have chances, and just misfiring at critical stages. And that was the difference. They just left the door open. Now, in the second, there's just another opportunity. The ball screams across the goal, and there is the captain blasting that one over the bar. This was another chance for Mocha FC, but again, that entry pass was not the best. And those were just wasted opportunities there. They had good openings. They just couldn't capitalize on them. And that turned out to be a real heartache for them. This was another one that came close to that near post. And then this hook back set him up nicely there. He didn't have to do too much there. Dabas, the captain. And he just put it away with a plum. And then another chance there. And Shaquille Stewart couldn't believe his luck. And this was the third goal, really. Moments after coming on, Sergio Ventura is celebrating a big goal, and then the comeback has started. Here, brilliant strike there from Andre Applewhite, and that was in the 86th minute, and then a minute later, unmarked at the back post, and there was Nikolai Brathwaite to make it 3-2, and they felt they were in with a chance. But then Brathwaite got himself sent off, and they were down to 10 men, but at that stage it didn't matter. They were still throwing bodies forward and hoping against hope that they would get another chance to maybe at least knot up the scores. And they came close, not that they didn't have opportunities. Again, another stab at goal by Stewart. Just takes a deflection, goes out. And this was a great ball again. And it just fell at the back post, but try as they did, Norris couldn't get it across goal, and it stayed out. So 3-2, the final score in this encounter here. We get ready for the presentation. We see the players from the Mocha FC from the Dominican Republic. I'm sure the folks back home must be thrilled right now with this outcome. And I'm sure they'll be celebrating for a long time.
Welcome to the field the dignitaries for this evening's award ceremony. President of the Caribbean Football Union, Mr. Lyndon Cooper. Chief Football Competitions Officer at CONCACAF, Carlos Fernandez. Advisor to the Minister of Sports, Ms. Nalini Sutrasingh, and TTFA Vice President.
Well, what a final it's turned out to be. A fitting way to end a pulsating tournament. Remember, there were 6 teams in each group, but instead of playing 5 games each, they only played 2, a Swiss-style tournament. And so you had to win, you had to score goals, because goal difference could have been a determining factor. And in the end, really 2 of the better teams emerged in the final, and at the end of the day, Mocha FC. And here's the tricky thing about
Mr. Lyndon
Mocha
Cooper
FC.
will now present a token to Ms. Nalini Sutrasingh.
As they start the presentations. So you see a presentation taking place.
Mr. Lyndon Cooper will now present a token to Mr. Carlos Fernandez. Mr. Lyndon Cooper will now present a token to Mr. Jameson Reegs. Mr. Lyndon Cooper will now present the token of appreciation to the match officials in the final. The officials for this evening's game: referee from Antigua, Ken Pennyfeather; assistant referee, Mihinsa Wrench from Suriname; assistant referee, Wasna Barnard from Antigua; and fourth official, Shaquille Jokil from Suriname. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate the runners-up of the 2025 CFU Club Shield, Weymouth Wales FC. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the winner of the 2025 CFU Club Shield, Mocha FC. Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the 2025
history, at least in the professional aspect of it. So it's huge. We knew what we were up against. It was a great rival. We knew even with a 3-goal lead, they were back into the game with 2 quick goals. And I like to say that if it's not suffering, it's not Moca. And that's what we had to do today, suffer, you know.
What do you think this would mean to the club, especially the people back home who are watching, who are members of the club, and who they must be beaming with pride right now?
It's huge. I mean, the people were demanding us to win titles, and rightfully so. So we knew coming into this tournament that we had made improvements to the squad and that we needed to take that next step in our development. And I think we showed that. And I think from what I've heard already, the people are already very happy and waiting for us back home. So we're excited to get back.
Well, apart from winning, were you happy with the overall play throughout the tournament? I know you've had ups and downs. Some games you didn't score many goals. You had an own goal in one game of 1-0. You scored one in another game against the Guyana Defence Force. You won on penalties after a goalless tie. And here today, won by the odd goal in 5.
Yeah, I mean, it was a crazy tournament. We knew that we had a lot of chances in every single game we played. We knew we weren't taking that final detail into account, not finishing our plays. Today we had 3 goals though, even though we had only scored 2 in 3 games. And then they scored 2 on us when we had 3 clean sheets the previous 3 games. So it's been a roller coaster ride after the preseason. But to start your season winning a tournament, first one in club history, an international tournament, qualifying a Caribbean Cup, there's no better way to start the season.
That's what I wanted to ask you finally here. How big is it qualifying for the Caribbean Cup?
It's huge. We have big goals in mind. We know the quality that we have within the team, the quality of our coaching staff. The club is making great strides in developing. And we know we have to show that on the pitch, and we know what we are capable of. I said it in other interviews. We are one of the best, if not the best club at this tournament, and we have to show it. And I think we did that throughout the tournament, and that's why we're rightful winners.
Okay, great. Sabella, thanks and congratulations all the same. So there you have it, folks. The champion team celebrating behind us there as they can really say that they are king of the tournament right now. The Caribbean Club Shield goes to the Mocha FC out of the Dominican Republic. A pulsating final, 3-2. And spare thought also for the team that finished 3rd overall in the competition, although they weren't mentioned or they weren't presented here with medals or anything of the sort at the end. But you also have to tip your hats to them. And Club Franciscain came out here and got the job done. So that is the situation here from down on the field. Thank you so much for being with us. And let's celebrate once again Mocha FC, champions of 2025. So it certainly has been a great honor to be able to bring you these highlights and all this activity, and we really wish them continued success, especially the 2 teams, the Barbados outfit Weymouth Wales together with Mocha FC, as they go through to the tournament, the CONCACAF Caribbean Club Championships coming up next. Coach, we spoke already, and all the time you kept telling me you're building. I think you let out a lot of your expression here today. The team looked a lot better today, and you scored more goals.
Como usted ve el trabajo que se vio, y en el campo de juego se vio un equipo muy guerrero y que pudimos haber hecho muchos más goles.
Sí, la verdad es que trabajamos mucho para eso. Intentamos ser un equipo que sea fuerte, que sea combativo, que sepa jugar las distintas instancias del torneo. Hoy teníamos una final y habría que enfrentarla como se merece. Estoy orgulloso del equipo, los chicos se lo merecen porque hicimos hace 6-7 meses que nos estamos preparando para esto y gracias a Dios también el esfuerzo tuvo su recompensa, ¿no? Así que también felicitaciones a la CFU, a la organización por el torneo, por tratarnos tan bien. Y bueno, nada, feliz por este nuevo título internacional, ¿no?
We know that it was a battle. We worked a lot for today for prepare this kind of match. All of match of this tournament we prepared like as a final, and today was the final. For the reason we we were so proud of our team because the players, the all staff, the all team deserve this, and for that reason we are so happy to get the championship CFU. Also, we want to say congratulations for the organization because we are so high in all issues that you can maybe will have.
Just one quick text here. What does it mean to you personally to win this tournament?
Personalmente, ¿qué significa para usted ganar esta copa?
Muchísimo. Voy a volver a repetir para Dios toda la gloria y la honra. Me trajo a Dominican Republic para volver a ser campeón. Y trabajamos para eso y estoy muy feliz de que ser bendecido como Dios siempre me bendice en esta hermosa tierra a la que llegué. Y ojalá que siga siendo para seguir, sobre todo dejando huella y un legado para todos aquellos para quienes trabajo, ¿no?
A lot of, and we say it always, all what happened in our staff, especially for Jorge Alfonso, is thank for God, is because God won this, and he come back of Dominican Republic to be a champions. We work to be a champions. Today we can catch these goals, and for that reason we are so proud for that, and we want to still training more and more and more because we want more, and he want to be a leader, an example for all members that we want work.
Okay, well, congratulations again, and enjoy it. Okay, thanks so much for all your support. So there you have it, folks. The coach, the champion coach here this year, and congratulations again to Mocha FC, and we certainly want to celebrate with them. And we also have with us here the coach of the Asquith Howell, and let me say commiserations, but what a fight.
Yes, we did fight. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me how you're feeling.
Well, the guys a little bit down because of the win, but nevertheless, I think we came here and came second, 2 out of 24. I think that's commendable.
You scored goals, so many goals, that I always felt you had a chance because I knew, based on what you had done before, scoring goals wasn't that difficult for you. You create chances and you take chances. It just seems as if the start of the game, they just didn't seem to flow, and they weren't creating the chances that I normally would have expected. But then I wasn't surprised at the back end at what happened because I knew that is what I am accustomed seeing from them.
Yeah, the guys fought with a little heart in the back end. Obviously, playing the 4 games in 10 days or 7 days, how much it is, really took a toll on the boys' legs. But nevertheless, they pulled through it, and we commemoration for the Mocha, but nevertheless, I think we can hold our heads high.
Well, that's good, because I wanted to ask you that we know Barbados is a cricket nation. They boast about their basketball. Their football hasn't been up at that level, but I want to believe that this will send a message to all Barbadians about the possibilities for a team like this one.
It's correct, and this is one of the things that we came here, not only for ourselves, but to make sure to let everybody know that Barbados football is going in the right direction. And nevertheless, I hope they come and support us now in the second round, because our first game will be home sometime the 27th of August, I think it is, where we play in Group B, and I look forward to another key competition.
Coach, congratulations on reaching the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup, because that seemed to get lost in all of this here at this time. But part of the reaching the final was also qualifying for that, so you still have more to look forward to. Yep. Congrats again.
All right, thanks.
Yep. So there you have it, of course, the 2 coaches, and doing it all so good, and so we want to wish them continued success. Again, the Mocha FC are our champions for 2025. Once again, we want to thank our sponsors for making it possible. I talk not about the TTFA, the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association, and they have been partnering with us throughout. Flow, again, our regional carrier, the ones who've been beaming these images throughout the region and around the wider world. And of course, the CFU, under whose auspices this tournament is being hosted, and they have their under 14 tournament coming up here from the 15th of this month. So we encourage you to be a part of that right here in Trinidad and Tobago, where the under 14 ladies will be taking center stage. We hope you'll join us for that. I'm Ruskin Mark, thanking you so much for being with us.
Not simply about how many games you win, but more about how many lives you touch. This is why we do it.
Because football is life.
Because we know firsthand the power football can positively change lives.
Because there's nothing else we'd rather do. Because our hearts beat football.
Because there's nothing quite like representing your country.
For the love of the game. Por el amor.
Pour l'amour. I'd leave the war.
For the love of the beautiful game.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
It's not simply about how many games you win, but more about how many lives you touch. This is why we do it.
Because football is life.
Because we know firsthand the power football can positively change